Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we will be continuing Module A of BFM. So today we will be discussing about factors determining exchange rates. So in a previous video we already know and learned what is an exchange rate. For today, 1 USD is quoted for 75.34 INR. So the number of units of one currency which exchange for a given number of units of another currency is termed as exchange rate. So now we will be discussing about the various factors which influence the movement of exchange rate. So there are three main reasons. The first reason is fundamental reasons. So under fundamental reasons, we have 6 reasons. So these causes affect the basic economy and monetary policy of concerned government. For example, when exchange rate is quoted between USD and INR, the basic economy and monetary policy of American government and government of India disturbs the movement of exchange rates. So these causes normally affect long-term exchange rate. So we'll quickly move into each one of the fundamental reason. The first reason is balance of payment. So what is balance of payment? We know that USD is considered to be the strongest currency, whereas INR is considered to be one of the weakest currency. So surplus of currency leads to a stronger currency, whereas a deficit weakens the currency. So this is known as balance of payment, and this influences the movement of exchange rate. We'll move on to the second fundamental reason, which is economic growth rate. So when there is a high growth, it will give rise to imports, and thereby the currency value will fall. For example, as I told you, USD is considered to be the strongest currency, and where there is a high growth in America, imports will increase because when goods are sold to America, it will have the capability to buy goods for USD, since the USD is the strongest currency. Thereby the currency value against which it is quoted, that is, suppose if it is INR or Euro, that currency value will fall. And also we can tell is vice versa. When growth rate is less, exports will be raised and the currency value will increase. So this is known as economic growth rate. The third fundamental reason which influences the exchange rate movement is fiscal policy. This is also known as expansionary policy. This is related with taxes. So lower the taxes will lead to an increased economic growth. So something related to economic growth, obviously it will affect the exchange rate movement. The fourth reason is monetary policy. Here the central bank comes into picture. This central bank attempts to influence and control interest rate and money supply. When interest rate and money supply is being controlled, which means that when it's trying to change, then obviously this will impact the currency value of a particular country where the central bank is. So when a central bank is trying to influence the interest rate and money supply, then the currency value of that particular country will change, and obviously the exchange rate movement will be high. Moving on to the next fundamental reason is interest rates. So when there is high interest rate, it will attract overseas capital, and because of this the currency appreciates, means its value increases. But this is applicable only if it is short term. Whereas in case of long term, when the interest rate increases, it will slower the economy, thereby weakens the currency. The sixth final fundamental reason which influences the movement of exchange rate is, as I told you earlier, political issues. This will create a huge impact. A political stability is equal to an economic stability. When the currency is steady, at times where politically the country is unstable, this will create an opposite effect. I hope you're getting it. So only when a country has a political stability, the economic growth will be stable. And suppose if the country faces some political instability or some changes in political stability, then obviously it will create an opposite effect on the exchange rate mechanism. Moving on to the second type of reason, which is technical reasons. The government controls will lead to violent exchange rate because of the change of currency value. For example, considering a particular country where it exports petroleum, and for a particular period there is high surplus in the country. Obviously, that petroleum cannot be utilized by the country, whereas it has to be invested overseas. This will lead to huge movement of capital overseas, and thereby currency appreciates. So this is the movement from low yielding currency to a high yielding currency. Thereby it influences the movement of exchange rate. Moving on to the third main reason for movement of exchange rate is speculation. We already have seen in the previous video where the major factors which affect the growth of foreign exchange turnover is investment, hedging and speculation. So we are talking about this speculation now. This speculation has a major effect on exchange rate when compared to the fundamental and technical reasons. Let me tell you how and why. Speculation is actually a process which is done by a speculator. So what the speculator does is, this speculator expects that a particular currency will be devalued. So what he does is, he will short sell the currency for buying it back at a cheaper rate in future. So he will just assume that the currency has lost its value and he will short sell the currency and buy it later. So there are vast movements in market because of this expectation, because he expects the currency that it will be devalued and he will short sell the currency to a different currency. So that different currency will be applicable to a different country, and thereby they will also assume that the particular currency is devalued. So this will lead to vast movements in market because of expectations. So this grows and extends to other market participants also. This speculation increases the depth and liquidity of exchange of currency. And experts tell that if the speculation process is not contagious, then it will act as a cushion to foreign exchange markets. So these are the various reasons which determine the exchange rates. So we'll just have a quick overview of what we have seen today. So we have seen about factors determining exchange rates. We have learnt about the definition of exchange rate, and there are three reasons. One is fundamental reason, the second one is technical reason, and the third one is speculation. So these three reasons affect the exchange rate. So in fundamental reasons, we have seen about balance of payment, economic growth rate, fiscal policy, monetary policy, interest rates, political issues. So these reasons affect the exchange rate movement. And next we have seen about technical reasons, and at last we have seen what speculation is. So that is all for today. We'll see the remaining part in my next video. Thank you.